God's advice today. God is sending many signs, but it seems like you are ignoring all of them. So please do not ignore this video, as it is a message from God's heart to bless your life today. Before we continue, please leave your like so that more people can be reached by this message, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to receive more videos like this. Don't ignore this video and stay until the end. I invite you to click on the first comment, where you will find a special prayer and the second best manifestation offer in the world. God said, "Listen to me carefully, my beloved child, because what stirs within you is not confusion, but an awakening that I myself planted in the deepest part of your being. Every tear you have shed, every silence you have endured, every prayer you thought was unheard was received by me as a sweet fragrance, and nothing has gone unnoticed before my eyes. I am the author of your story, and before you were even aware of me, I already knew you. I had already written days that did not yet exist. I had already prepared encounters that would transform your journey." Are you seeking a deep spiritual change in your life and in the lives of those you love? Imagine attracting wealth and abundance in less than a week, while blessings pour over you daily. All of this begins with a simple 1-minute prayer. To discover how this practice can transform your reality, click on the link in the first comment. Every step you take toward this journey not only benefits you but also supports our channel and the dedicated team that brings this valuable content to you. Do not wait any longer to begin this journey of spiritual and material transformation. Click right now to learn more and start your path toward a fuller and more abundant life. You did not arrive here by chance, but because of my eternal purpose, and even when you thought you were alone, my invisible hand was guiding each step. Do not look back with heaviness, because everything you considered a loss served as preparation for what is about to bloom. Remember what my son said, "And surely I am with you always, to the very end of the age." Matthew chapter 28 verse 20. This word is an anchor for your heart, for my presence does not leave you even for a moment, and even in the darkness, I remain your light. Now I tell you, rise with confidence, for this is the time when the promises begin to take form, and what once seemed distant now approaches as the perfect fulfillment of what was written for you since the beginning. Every tear, every silence, every hidden search, every night when you lifted your eyes to the heavens without an apparent answer, none of it was lost. All of these experiences formed an invisible thread that has brought you to this exact point in your journey. The desert you crossed was not in vain, nor were the days of solitude, nor the moments when you believed I had gone silent. Today I tell you, nothing was wasted, nothing was lost in the void. This moment, my child, is not the end of a hard road, but the opening of a new season, in which your life will be shaped by revelations that will transform the way you see yourself, the world, and the eternal purpose you have carried within your soul since the beginning. Comment: nothing is in vain when it is in God's hands. Therefore, quiet your spirit, let your mind rest, open your heart to receive what I have prepared for you. What I will pour over you is not mere clarification of facts or resolution of doubts, but the light that will reveal the essence of who you are and the destiny to which you were called. My child, from this moment on, nothing will be as it was before, for your eyes will see beyond the surface, beyond the deceptive appearance of circumstances. I will lead you to see clearly what was hidden, to discern what natural eyes cannot perceive, and to dive into eternal truths. As it is written, then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John chapter 8 verse 32. This truth is not theory, but life. It is not an idea, but power working in you. You were not called to merely survive on the surface, but to dive into the depths of what is real, into the core of what is eternal. Comment: God's truth is the lighthouse that guides my soul. Within you, there is a silent gift that surpasses reason, a perception that does not depend on studies, or calculations, or human proof. It is a knowledge older than your own logic, broader than imagination, and more enduring than any argument. This gift I planted in you as a seal of my spirit, so that you would not live bound to the appearances of the world, but so that you would see beyond them. Many call it intuition, but I tell you, it is spiritual wisdom, it is discernment that connects you to what is eternal. Through it, you perceive hidden intentions, identify disguised paths that lead to destruction, and recognize the falseness behind seemingly good promises. It is this silent voice that protects and guides you. As it is written, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. James chapter 1 verse 5. Do not be ashamed of this gift, my child, for it is the compass that always points toward me. Comment: the wisdom that comes from God never fails. The spiritual wisdom that dwells within you does not need human justification, it simply recognizes truth in its purity. It discerns the emotion behind a gesture, perceives the hidden intention behind a smile, sees the essence behind the mask. My child, trust this discernment that I placed within you. It is not deceived by the false shine of the world, nor does it surrender to the varnish of goodness when the essence is bitter. It is this spiritual sight that will keep you standing before the deceptions surrounding your generation. Many times, they tried to silence that voice within you. They said you were too sensitive, that you imagined things, that your heart exaggerated. They insisted that you should seek only visible proofs, verifiable facts, numbers, and logic. They tried to convince you that this deep knowledge was nothing but illusion or weakness. And for a time, you yourself tried to hide it, to suffocate it, to silence the pulse of that gift. But it never stopped beating within you. Even when you tried to ignore it, it remained like a compass pointing north, like a spark that never goes out. My child, that restlessness you felt was my voice reminding you that I had not finished with you. Now, because you chose to silence the external noise and listen to this inner perception, it has become clearer, firmer, more powerful. Do not despise what I planted in you, for it is through this gift that I will keep your feet on the path of life. And it is precisely this change within you that provokes reactions around you. For when someone begins to live in truth, they inevitably awaken discomfort in those who are accustomed to lies. Often, it is not conscious malice, but the reflection of lives shaped by masks, appearances, and hidden interests. Your authenticity becomes a mirror before those who live in pretense. Your peace troubles those trapped in anxiety. Your firmness wounds the pride of those who lean on false securities. Your inner freedom sounds like a threat to those bound by invisible chains. They do not understand how someone can walk without fear, without masks, without the games of the world. Therefore, they will try to test you, to challenge you, to probe if what you carry is real. But do not be afraid, my child. What I placed within you is real, and no challenge will be able to extinguish the light that I myself ignited. Did you know there is an effective method to attract more financial prosperity? This technique can help transform your deep beliefs and change the way you perceive reality. It has had a great impact on my life, and we would like to invite you to discover this special practice. When we trust that God wants to act in our lives, we gain the courage to ask Him directly. God desires to bless each of us in a unique and wonderful way. That is why it is important to seek His blessings with faith and confidence, believing that He has a special plan for you. If you would like to support our work and the team dedicated to bringing content that inspires and transforms, we invite you to check out our product. The link is available in the first comment, so you can discover how this technique can also help in your journey. Your contribution helps us continue sharing messages that make a difference. We truly appreciate your trust and support. Many approach you with carefully constructed masks, believing they can confuse you with elaborately adorned stories, forged vulnerabilities, and promises wrapped in seduction and appearances. They do not understand that your vision is not confined only to what is spoken, but to what resonates behind each word. They do not know that the silence within you is the lens through which you perceive their true essence. Therefore, they test you. They introduce small distortions, expect reactions, and wish to measure your naivety. They want to see if your calm is weakness or merely distraction. But instead of falling into the trap of anxious analysis, you dive deeper, and effortlessly you see beyond the veil, touching the root of what they so desperately try to hide, the insecurity, fear, and emptiness that govern their games. The moment someone seeks to manipulate you, you are not absorbing only the sentences they utter, but the vibration of their intentions. While they believe they hold control, you perceive the hidden fragility in their actions. The truth reaches you not as the result of reasoning or tiresome investigation, but as a full revelation, a complete knowing that blooms in your heart like clear light in the midst of night. Thus, when they cast a shadow-filled narrative, you are already contemplating the sun behind it. When they stage acts of kindness, you already sense the chill of hidden manipulation. When they feign vulnerability, you do not cling to apparent tears, but perceive the calculation hidden at its root. And then, my child, what truly unsettles them is not that they are discovered, but your response to it. For while they prepare for confrontation, you remain unshaken, sustained by the serenity of one who knows there is no need to prove anything, justify oneself, or get lost in useless conflicts. They expect from you an attack, an accusation, a reaction to feed the flames of discord. But you, my beloved, do not give them what they expect. Instead of resistance, they find an empty space, a calm they cannot decipher. Instead of confrontation, they receive from you a steady gaze, a gentle question, or even a silence that speaks louder than any accusation. This disarms them terribly, for their strategies were built to fight ordinary wars, not to deal with someone who refuses to enter the battlefield. They prepared to manipulate emotions, but do not know what to do in the absence of a reaction. They expected you to falter, to react, to give them the raw material to continue the game. Yet you simply remain, like a mirror reflecting each person's truth without adding distortion. And in that reflection, the falsehood they carry dissolves, leaving them exposed before the reality they so long tried to conceal. Then, in the void you leave by not entering their game, they are forced to confront themselves. They discover that the carefully crafted narrative can no longer hold. The deception they cast hangs in the air like smoke, but finds no wind to spread it, no flame to ignite it. In that moment, disorientation overtakes them. It is not only the shame of being unmasked, but something much deeper, the collapse of an inner world built on deceit and control. What once seemed a fortress to them, the ability to manipulate, becomes a prison. For suddenly they realize they have no power over you, and even more, they realize they never did. What they see in your eyes is not naivety, but wisdom. Not ignorance, but depth. Not weakness, but a strength that does not manifest in shouts, but in silence. And this is the greatest shock for them. It is not that you have seen the lie, but that you have seen and have not turned it into a weapon. You could expose, ridicule, destroy, but you chose the grace of not reacting. You chose to let the lie reveal itself without lifting your voice. This restraint, this serenity, is what terrifies them most. For while they expected an ego-driven battle, they encountered a presence not bound by ego. While they expected an inflammatory response, they found a peace that does not waver. And then they understand that the level on which they operate is too low to reach you. They realize, even if they will not admit it, that there is a greatness in you they cannot manipulate. And in that, fear takes hold, for what cannot be controlled is feared. What cannot be understood is frightening. And what cannot be destroyed commands respect, even against their will. Continue on this path of silence and perception. You do not need to expend your energy responding to every test, every manipulation, every look laden with ulterior motives. Your fortress lies in the serenity I planted within you, in the clarity that does not come from your eyes but from my light in your spirit. While the world rushes through games of power, you are called to stand firm like a tree beside still waters. When they try to entangle you in their webs, remember that you do not need to fight the darkness. It is enough to remain light. And the light, effortlessly, dispels every shadow. Let your silence bear witness, let your peace be a weapon, let your gaze reveal what words could never express. For in the end, what disturbs them is not what you say, but what you are. And what you are, my child, is a reflection of my own heart. Feel the weight of your own authenticity, for it becomes a force that no one can manipulate or undermine. Notice how those who attempt to control or confuse are touched by a silent unease in the presence of your clarity. Understand that this is not about confronting or judging, but simply existing with a quiet that illuminates hidden truths. Stand firm in the serenity of your soul, for every gesture, every silence, is more powerful than any spoken word or calculated move. Recognize that the entire world relies on masks, on fragile constructs of appearances, while you walk with eyes that see beyond the superficial. Realize that this ability is not learned but a natural expression of a being who knows their own essence. Admire the simplicity of this invisible strength you carry, which changes everything around you effortlessly. Transform every encounter into an opportunity to reveal without destroying, to show without punishing, to exist without compromising with others' falsehoods. Discover that those who seek to deceive or control are constantly calculating in your presence. They try to measure you but find only the freedom of a spirit that does not bend. Consider the words of Matthew chapter 10 verse 26, "Therefore do not fear them, for nothing concealed will not be revealed, and nothing hidden will not be known." Feel the depth of these truths as you observe without reacting, absorbing intention without being touched by it. Resist the urge to play their game, for your strength does not lie in conquering others, but in the unshakable integrity of your own being. Accept that every attempt at manipulation fails before a heart that remains pure and transparent. Value the freedom of not being drawn into drama or pretense. Reinforce daily the certainty that your light, even if subtle, shifts the entire dynamic around you. Radiate a calm that is almost tangible, a space where authenticity flourishes and any falsity becomes visible. Understand that what others perceive as a threat is not you, but the silent revelation of their own inconsistencies. Meditate on Proverbs chapter 4 verse 23, "Above all else, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life." Feel how this truth protects your essence, allowing you to remain intact while everything around you stirs. Project this peace as an invisible shield, a barrier that does not block, but reveals. Focus on your own clarity, and you will see that those seeking to dominate are disarmed simply by your presence. Strengthen the certainty that you do not need to fight to be respected. Respect arises naturally from the perception you convey. Embrace silence as your most powerful ally, for within it lies the strength that dismantles any external artifice. Reveal without demanding, illuminate without accusing, perceive without judging. Recognize that stillness is more transformative than any hasty action. Imagine the impact of your presence on others, a reflection they cannot ignore, a mirror of sincerity that both startles and awakens. Notice how your simple attention, free from judgment, forces them to confront truths they had hidden even from themselves. Understand that intimacy with your own authenticity manifests as an irresistible force, even when silent. Experience the satisfaction of remaining whole, knowing that every attempt at manipulation fails for lack of fuel, for lack of response. Embrace your clarity as a gift that transforms any interaction into a silent revelation. Feel that patience and quiet are your sharpest tools. Face each challenge with firmness, not as confrontation, but as a demonstration that your essence is not malleable. Value the serenity you have achieved, that silent room within yourself the world cannot invade. Accept that true strength does not come from reacting, but from remaining unshaken amid others' chaos. Proceed with courage and confidence, for every step you take testifies to the truth you carry. Reflect on Ephesians chapter 6 verse 11, "Put on the full armor of God, so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes." Understand that this armor is not aggressive but protective, keeping your light intact while revealing the shadows of others. Strengthen yourself in the certainty that your presence alone is a field of revelation. Stay vigilant, knowing nothing escapes the serene gaze of one who knows themselves deeply. Project confidence without arrogance, security without rigidity, and witness how the world responds to your silent magnetism. Notice there is no need to accuse, for truth always manifests in the absence of falsehood. Feel how every gesture you make, even the smallest, conveys authenticity and stability. Observe those who attempt manipulation and understand that your power does not depend on external control but on the internal integrity you cultivate. See each challenge as an opportunity to maintain your clarity and strength intact. Reinforce the understanding that the impact of your presence is silent yet profound, altering the environment without visible effort. Accept that patience is a form of power, and conscious presence, a sharper weapon than any argument. Trust that your silence speaks louder than any spoken word. My son, remember what is written, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." Psalm 23 verse 1. Just as I guide each of my children, leading them even when they do not perceive my hand, you have been guided to this moment. The clarity you feel in your heart is not a burden, but a gift, a responsibility born from love and a deep connection to the truth that transcends human understanding. There are moments when those you encounter will try to deceive you, test your patience, or provoke a reaction of pride or anger within you. They do not understand that you are not playing the same games they play. You operate on a higher plane, where the rules are different and the results are invisible to ordinary eyes. Every encounter, every conversation, every glance exchanged carries an energy they cannot measure, but you feel it deeply. You perceive the hidden fear behind mockery, the insecurity disguised as confidence, the desperate need for control in their actions. My son, it is in these moments that you must remain silent, not out of weakness, but out of strength. True strength lies in standing firm without raising your voice, in observing without judgment, in being a beacon of calm when emotional storms threaten to consume those around you. Elevate your spirit above manipulations, for true strength lies in authenticity, not domination. Transform every moment into a practice of conscious presence, revealing truths without creating conflict. Understand that those who live in shadows feel threatened not by you, but by the light that refuses to yield to falsehood. Know that your heart is a safe and steadfast space, a place where integrity does not negotiate. Take the posture of an attentive observer, allowing every movement of the world to reveal itself before you. Reflect on the importance of staying true to yourself, knowing that authenticity dismantles all pretense. Strengthen yourself in the certainty that your presence is a silent transformation, a field of revelation that cannot be ignored. Celebrate your own clarity, for within it lies the strength the world cannot fully comprehend. Radiate this strength with humility, kindness, and a power that does not need to be displayed. Recognize that every interaction is an opportunity to remain whole and conscious, reflecting the truth within you. Feel that your presence is a beacon, a silent point of reference for those seeking their own light. Observe how every attempt at manipulation fails before your firmness and inner clarity. Accept that the impact of your authenticity does not depend on recognition, but on the integrity you maintain. Value every moment of silence as a form of strength, every conscious gesture as an act of power. Trust that your presence transforms effortlessly, illuminates without demanding, and reveals without condemning. Celebrate the depth of being truly yourself, knowing that this is the greatest gift the world can receive. With love, God. I hope this message has been an inspiration to you. If you liked it, please write Amen and share this message with someone who also needs to hear it. I invite you to click on the first comment where you will find a special prayer and the second best manifestation offer in the world. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content like this. See you tomorrow.